really, really fun win for the Canes. And that's not to say that the Caps didn't put up a fight. It's not to say that it wasn't competitive or entertaining. It is to say that it's just nice when things work out. Right? 5-2 final score, which, by the way, if you listened to the show yesterday, I predicted on the nose. We'll just ignore all the other times when I wasn't close and focus in on I was on the nose with this one. It doesn't tell the full story because 5-2 seems, he must have dominated. No, not at all. Had the domination in the second part of Game 3, the second half of Game 3. Game 4 was actually as back and forth as a 5-2 game could go. And it actually, what it proved to me, or what it showed me, the thing that I took away from it was that was a mental fortitude win. That's a win that like the strength and conditioning coach should be proud of. Remember all that suffering you went through in the off season? It comes out in a game like that. That's the game that I just watched. It was about bouncing back. It was about facing adversity and being prepared for it and being mentally ready to not go down in the dumps, not stagger, and keep moving forward. Canes go up 1-0 first period, first of all. First period goal. How lovely. I'm glad I did not ink that joke about cutting off a pinky toe if they had a first period goal.
Someone was about to hold you accountable.
So somebody else who seconded it was like, we might be in trouble. I want to be like, go back and watch the tapes. I very obviously say that this is not binding, but they get the first period goal. Awesome. Then Martinook goes to the box for 4 minutes, right at the end of the first period, for a double minor for high sticking. That's the bounce back, right? They killed 4 minutes of penalty with the greatest power play goal scorer in the history of the league wearing the other team's jersey, and they killed 4 minutes, and it was dominant as a penalty kill could be. Right? You're going to hear me reference this, because of some places I've lived previously, and I don't hold it against them at other times of the year, but I know a bunch of Caps fans. That power play is when the praise of the Canes started coming in from Caps fans that don't watch the Canes as often. This defense is everywhere. This defense is suffocating. It's like a full court press all of the time. And it's yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. They locked in, they killed all 4 minutes to preserve the lead, including 24 seconds at the start of the second period. Then it goes up to 2-0. Canes have a 2-0 lead. Caps score with 5 minutes into the third period. 2-1, very different. Right? I joked that you felt everybody, Media Row, I joked that you could feel everybody's kind of focus in the entire arena get a little bit more serious. Right? It's like you stop telling that story about, when you were fishing last year and the fish you caught, and you're saying, we'll get to that later. And everybody leaned forward because 2-1 is a different beast. Taylor Hall, breakaway, buries it. Answered, right? Challenge, answered. Challenged, answered. And then it happened again. Canes 3-1. They give the Caps a 2-man advantage, and as great as the penalty kill is with Ovechkin out on the ice, 2-man advantage, probably too much. Ovechkin scores 3-2. Boom, Sean Walker answers. That's what it was. The whole night. It's something you can be proud of. Anybody can win when everything goes your way. It's way more of a culture win. It shows what type of people you have in that locker room if you face the adversity and you make it out on the other side every single time. There was someone waiting to answer the bell. Sean Walker, who was one of those answerers to make the score 4-2 and give him the multi-goal lead, which was so crucial again. He was asked about always having a response to Washington scoring, and this is what Walker said.
Yeah, I think that's something that's really important, especially this time of year. You got to answer when teams are making their push. Obviously, you don't want to give up those goals, especially late in the third. But I think as a whole, we kind of kept our composure, didn't really panic, just stuck to our systems. And again, Halsey made a great play on his goal, and happy that I got mine too. So worked out well.
It was. Like every time you asked a question or every time you voiced a worry with their play, they immediately answered it. And I think that says a lot about the people, right? Because yeah, I mean, it also says a lot about their hockey ability. Like, and Taylor Hall was able to score the goal, but it's because of his talent. Yeah, but also, I guess we'll cross sport it here a bit. When we heard from Dave Canales, the head coach of the Carolina Panthers, and Dan Morgan, the GM of the Carolina Panthers, leading into the draft about what kind of questions they ask and what kind of people they're looking for. One of the things they said was they want players that have faced adversity. They want players that have fought back against something, so they know what kind of people they're bringing in.
People that have been through some stuff.
Exactly, been through some stuff, right? Some maybe other, there you go. That was the Canes last night. Taylor Hall, former first overall pick, former MVP. He's been through it in his career, and he's come out on the other side probably feeling like he has a second lease on his career, a part of a core on a contender. But yeah, he's the one. Oh, you think you're going to rattle me with a goal? I was getting DNP coaches this. I was getting healthy scratched for Chicago. You think you're going to rattle me with a 1-goal lead? No, been through it. Sean Walker was I went and looked it up today. He was the second leading freshman in points on Bowling Green's hockey team at the beginning of his college career. When guys are out there being NHL draft picks straight out of high school, he was the second leading freshman at Bowling Green and worked his way up to having
undrafted guy.
Undrafted, worked his way up to having a role in the NHL, had that taken away, sent back down, back up, back down, ends up getting traded for a first-round pick, and then he's playing third-line minutes on the team that just gave up a first-round pick for him. The dude's been through some stuff. Oh, surprise, Ovi scored a 2-man advantage power play goal. You think that's going to rattle Sean Walker? He's been through some stuff. Freddie Anderson, you think that guy hasn't faced adversity throughout his career, but even just in his time with the Carolina Hurricanes? Talking blood clots and knee injuries and games that I'm sure if he closes his eyes, he can still see the shots and everything that went haywire. Yet he's there, cool as a cucumber, making saves from the opening puck drop again. That's what last night's win was about. The second half of Game 3 where the dominance happened and it goes to a 4-0 lead, a lot of that is talent, right? Svech's goal, right, just being inevitable and crashing through to get a goal right there off the face-off. There's certain parts where it's like, I didn't have the determination to pull off that goal. No, it's like you didn't have the size, speed, the talent to pull off that goal. But last night it was a lot of the mental side, and I think that is almost more enjoyable, more uplifting. I was this is kind of a weird thing to pop in, but we'll roll with it. Just recently, my mom read a biography, and I even forget whose I think it was Julie Andrews. Shout out to Mary Poppins, and my mom read it because she wanted to just happy, and she figured, Mary Poppins, right? The Sound of Music. She was just going to read it, and it was going to be this all this cool Hollywood stuff. Turns out Julie Andrews had a really, really rough upbringing, and there's lost all her money to a corrupt manager and all this stuff. And she was like, not what I wanted at all. And I went, Mom, there's no biographies really out there that are just like, I had an excellent childhood, went to an excellent high school, had a great time early in my career, met a great spouse, we had great kids, everything was great, and we're done.
And we were financially stable and everything was great.
Financially stable, invested well, health was always fantastic, friends are great, everybody still gets along into our 80s, and book. Like, there's no biographies like that. Last night was kind of that way for the Canes to me. Every time it was like, ooh, this is going to be the problem part. No, they scored. Look at that. It's back to a 2-goal lead. This is going to be the scary part. No, Freddie made the save. No, never mind. Ooh, this is interesting. You got the 4-minute. Nope, they killed it. It was just a lot of just the good. So maybe that's it. It's like the upbeat children's movie of games. It was just fun to watch because they had the answers. And they only had the answers because maybe at times in the past they didn't, and they learned from those experiments. part of the Canes culture. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is a fun one. And 3-1. Obviously, you get to go on the road to Washington for the next one. Washington has the tall task now. You've put the pressure on them. You have to match their intensity, all those sorts of things. But finish it out, right? 3-1, it's commanding. You don't want to sweat this one. You don't want to sweat this one.